A key witness in the Ken Starr investigation says President Clinton did make unwanted sexual advances. That is what White House volunteer Kathleen Willey has told Ed Bradley in an exclusive interview for 60 Minutes. And lawyers for Paula Jones released hundreds of documents they say show the Clinton camp tried to obstruct their investigation, as the White House now comes under heavy fire on two fronts.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Good evening. Dan's on assignment. I'm Bob Schieffer. A major development in the independent counsel's investigation of the president. A central figure in the case, White House volunteer Kathleen Willey, has told CBS News 60 Minutes correspondent Ed Bradley that President Clinton did make unwanted sexual advances toward her in his study adjacent to the Oval Office in November of 1993. And she says that is what she told the grand jury this week. Ed Bradley's here and has the details. Ed?
Bob, Kathleen Willey was an active Clinton supporter and fundraiser, and after Bill Clinton was elected president, she worked in the White House as a volunteer. In November of 1993, she learned that her husband had embezzled money from his clients and that financially he was in deep trouble. She needed a job and arranged an appointment with the president in the Oval Office to ask for help. When I talked to Kathleen Willey yesterday, she told me the president took her into a study where she told him she had to give up her work as a volunteer and she needed a paying job at the White House. She says Mr. Clinton put his arms around her, consoled her, hugged her, and then kissed her on the lips. Mrs. Willey said the president then fondled her breasts, told her he had wanted to do this ever since he first laid eyes on her, and then placed her hand on his crotch. Mrs. Willey said she pushed away from the president and said, "I think I better go." Outside the Oval Office, she ran into Linda Tripp and told her what had happened. Kathleen Willey also said efforts were made to intimidate her. She feels others familiar with her story were pressured and intimidated. And she said if the president said under oath that he did not make a sexual advance, then he is lying. Bob, Kathleen Willey went before the grand jury in Washington this week with the Office of the Independent Counsel. She also was subpoenaed and testified in the Paula Jones lawsuit.
This is very strong stuff, Ed. Is Kathleen Willey going to come across as believable?
She tells her story in a very straightforward way. She does not hesitate. She's not an emotional person, but there is an emotion and feeling there. She comes across as a credible person. I think the grand jury listened to her, and they will make up their minds whether they believe it, and I think the American people can watch Sunday night and see if they believe her.
Now, the president says he was trying to comfort her in the deposition he made. Did she take that as, in any way, as his trying to comfort her?
No, I asked her if this was an accidental grazing of her breasts, and she said no, and she repeated what she said, that he said, "I've wanted to do this ever since I first laid eyes on you."
Okay. Thank you, Ed. And a reminder, of course, you can see Ed's complete report and the complete interview with Kathleen Willey this Sunday evening at 6 Central Time on 60 Minutes. On a related front, the White House came under heavy fire today from lawyers representing Paula Jones in her sexual harassment lawsuit against the president. They released volumes of documents detailing some nasty allegations that directly contradict Mr. Clinton's claims. Phil Jones now with that part of the story. Phil?
Bob, it appears everything Kathleen Willey has told Ed Bradley is included in these 700 pages filed today in the Paula Jones lawsuit. Jones's lawyers have written to the judge to argue that her sexual harassment case against President Clinton should not be thrown out. It's full of lurid allegations going all the way back to Bill Clinton's days as governor. But the biggest potential problem for Mr. Clinton, the numerous allegations of obstruction of justice, of people allegedly being urged to lie or cover up for the president, according to Donovan Campbell, Jones's lawyer.
There's been a vast suppression of evidence and obstruction of justice attempt in this case on the part of defendant.
The Kathleen Willey case also plays a prominent role in Paula Jones's lawsuit. Willey confirms under oath the story of the president's sexual advances, and Jones's lawyers characterize the encounter as a sexual assault. And for the first time in her own declaration, Monica Lewinsky denies having a sexual relationship with the president. But also in black and white is Linda Tripp, under oath, describing in detail how Lewinsky told her that she did indeed have a sexual relationship with the president and that Lewinsky told her to lie about it. In the document, there are 10 specific instances of alleged attempts to suppress evidence regarding the alleged sexual affairs. This, lawyers claim, is the pattern of obstruction of justice. As far as the Paula Jones allegations, there are accounts from other women who claim Jones told them about the incident with then Governor Clinton shortly after it happened in a Little Rock hotel room in 1991. Jones claims she was sexually harassed and that she suffered professional and emotional damages. The court papers mentioned 5 other women who allegedly had wanted or unwanted relations with Bill Clinton. Jones's lawyers are trying to prove that Mr. Clinton had a pattern of offering jobs for sex or silence. What now? The president's lawyers will have about a week to respond, and then the federal judge in Little Rock is expected to take about a month to decide whether this case should be thrown out or go to trial at the end of May as scheduled. Bob?
Thank you very much, Phil. The president's lawyer reacted to all of this today, but they didn't say much about it at the White House, and with good reason. Scott Pelley's there now with more about that. Scott?
Bob, sources tell CBS News that prosecutors are now building a perjury case against the president based on the testimony of Kathleen Willey before the grand jury earlier this week. CBS News is told that Willey did, in fact, repeat her allegations under oath to the grand jury, and those allegations flatly contradict what the president said in his sworn deposition. When the president arrived for his deposition in January, he was not prepared to be questioned so closely on his contacts with a variety of women. The president was asked, "Mr. President, did Kathleen Willey ever give you permission to touch her breasts?" Answer, "No. I never asked, and I never did." Question, "And you're aware that she testified that you took her hand and put it on your penis?" Answer, "I am aware of that." You deny that testimony? I emphatically deny it. It did not happen. On Lewinsky, question, "Did you have an extramarital sexual affair with Monica Lewinsky?" No. If she told someone that she had a sexual affair with you, would that be a lie? It's certainly not the truth. It would not be the truth. As the documents were released, Mr. Clinton was leaving Washington for a weekend at Camp David. He would not comment. When asked if Mr. Clinton dreaded this day, his spokesman said, "He is a human being. He has human reactions." Late today, the president's lawyers rallied to his defense.
Nothing has been proven yet. And, hold your fire. There is no proof. Let's not assume any of these allegations are true.
A source familiar with her testimony tells CBS News tonight, quote, "If Willey is telling the truth, then the president has committed perjury. That is a high crime and an impeachable offense," end quote. Bob?
Thank you very much, Scott. By the way, we're expecting a verdict, and we'll have a report in just a minute on that sexual harassment court-martial involving the top enlisted man in the Army, Sergeant McKinney. That when we come back.
I use a shampoo every day, but my scalp still itches like crazy.
You need Scalpicin. It's made especially for deep scalp itch, the itch you can't wash away. Scalpicin is not a shampoo. It's a clear liquid you don't wash out like shampoo. Use Scalpicin anytime for deep scalp itch relief, with medication not found in the leading shampoos. Scalpicin gets to the root of the itch, starts working instantly.
The itch is gone.
Scalpicin, the scalp medication for deep scalp itch.
I'm already a winner. My cat's getting a platinum card, and this is disgusting. You know why these come-ons all seem the same? Because they are. You want new and exciting, see a Pontiac dealer. It's closer than you think. Here, watch this.
Hey, your Pontiac dealer has a great selection of the new and exciting. And with 1.9% APR GMAC financing for up to 36 months, now's the time to drive home the excitement. Don't settle for the same old. See the nice folks at Pontiac.
Do not adjust your TV. Only your thinking.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. It's gonna be huge. This is gonna be huge.
It's the bargain of the month from Coast to Coast, Service Star, and True Value. This month there's lots to cheer about with a 6-outlet power strip, a Rubbermaid trash can with wheels and a locking lid, or a 1-gallon gas can.
Go, baby! Go, baby! Go, baby! I told you it was gonna be a gas can. You've got the gift. Thank you.
Bargain of the month. It's a very, very big deal.
A new chapter tonight in the long-running saga of the Kennedy family of Massachusetts. Congressman Joe Kennedy, son of the late Senator Robert Kennedy, surprised the political world by saying he will not run for re-election. Eric Ingberg has our report.
Hey, terrific. How you doing?
He was the first of the young Kennedys to win public office and seemed headed for a permanent career in the family business, politics. But Robert Kennedy's oldest son was in the last year embroiled in messy family controversies that hurt his standing with the voters.
So very sorry.
Then came another Kennedy tragedy, the death of his brother Michael in a skiing accident. That death clearly influenced his decision to leave Congress.
This last year has brought me a new recognition of our own individual vulnerabilities and the vagaries of life.
Kennedy abandoned plans to run for Massachusetts governor after his ex-wife wrote a book charging he forced her into an annulment. He will now run a private non-profit organization, leaving 3 Kennedys still in politics. Uncle Edward in the Senate, cousin Patrick in the House, and sister Kathleen, Lieutenant Governor of Maryland. Kennedy said he might one day return to politics himself. Eric Engberg, CBS News, Washington.
You have a nice day. Thanks.
American Olympic skiing champion Peekaboo Street is spending Friday the 13th in a hospital in Switzerland. Street fell today in the last World Cup downhill race of the season and broke her left leg. Her doctor said it'll be many months now before she skis again. Street won a gold medal in Nagano only a year after tearing knee ligaments in the same leg. In this country, a federal health advisory panel today refused, at least for now, to recommend FDA approval for a new diet drug called Xenical. While other diet drugs suppress appetite in the brain, this one works in the stomach to limit absorbing fat. Xenical is controversial because some studies have found it is a breast cancer risk. Side effects can also include an upset stomach. The FDA today did approve this portable ultrasound machine to help diagnose osteoporosis, a serious bone-thinning disease that affects millions of older women. The machine simply transmits sound waves through the heel of a patient's foot. The results are ready in just 10 seconds. And in the CBS News Market Watch, all quiet on the inflation front. Wholesale prices are down for the 4th straight month. USA Today reports American family publishers will pay more than 30 states $50,000 each to settle a deceptive advertising case, and financier Carl Icahn is offering to buy the new Pan Am, now grounded in Chapter 11.
It feels strong and dependable, yet refreshing. Fix It and Fresh, a stronger, longer hold, combined with a cool, crisp sensation. Fix It and Fresh and forget it.
Has frequent heartburn been a persistent problem for you? Have you treated it but still suffer on 2 or more days a week? Do you keep getting heartburn even though you've changed your diet? Your heartburn may be due to a potentially serious condition called acid reflux disease. Ask your doctor if Prilosec is right for you. Just 1 Prilosec capsule daily can provide 24-hour acid control. Prilosec is not for everybody. Only your doctor can decide if it's right for you. The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. To learn more, call this number, ask your doctor or pharmacist, or see our Life magazine ad. Want 24-hour acid control with just 1 daily capsule? Ask your doctor about Prilosec.
Like all Americans, I like big things. Big prairies. Big forests and mountains. Big wheat fields. And everything else.
A man in Cheatham County is accused of abusing an animal, and the neighbor caught it all on tape. The story and the pictures coming up on our 6 o'clock report.
Tens of thousands of protesters turned out today to call the world's attention to the ethnic problems in the Serbian province of Kosovo. The vast majority of the people in the province are ethnic Albanians, though the province is ruled by Serbia. Serbian police have killed more than 80 people in Kosovo in the last 2 weeks in a crackdown on Albanian separatists. CBS News correspondent Mark Phillips, who's been following the tragic conflict, reports on today's rally.
The multitudes gathered on a hillside in Pristina today. And while they weren't looking for bread and fishes, they were looking for a miracle of sorts.
We want our freedom and independence. Yes.
The Rugova they were chanting for is Ibrahim Rugova, by far the most popular political figure amongst the 9/10 Albanian majority in Kosovo and the United States' current local politician of choice, here being hugged by U.S. Special Envoy Robert Gelbar. But the U.S. does not support Rugova's main demand, and the main demand of the tens of thousands who demonstrated today.
We want our independence, then our Kosovo, because our is Kosovo.
It amounts to a hillside of passion, but what the ethnic Albanians want in Kosovo is what the rest of the world fears most, a country of their own. Moving borders in this part of the world is usually a messy and bloody affair.
The rising fervor has already produced blood enough among those killed in the Serb attacks of the past weeks and those who luckily escaped but who are still nursing their wounds. The Albanians are now even less likely to agree to remain under the control of the same Serbs who did this. Today's demonstration was peaceful, but forces may have been unleashed here that those calling for moderation and mediation may not be able to control. Mark Phillips, CBS News, Pristina.
There is new concern tonight about Boris Yeltsin's health. 3 days after he insisted he was in good shape, doctors said the Russian president is out with a respiratory infection. In a symbolic, non-binding resolution, the U.S. Senate voted 93-0 today to brand Iraq's Saddam Hussein a war criminal and call for his indictment, arrest, and trial by a UN tribunal.
What do I want? I want to know I'm headed in the right direction. I want to keep my options open. I do want to take care of my family. I want to give something back. I want to learn, find what's right for me, be ready for anything, make the right choices. I want to find the people who can get me there.
American Express Financial Advisors can help you decide what you want to do and how to get there.
I want to say I made a difference. I want to do more.
In an instant, this woman's life will depend on what she's learned. Would you know what to do? Release your safety belt. Try the windows first. If they don't work, apply pressure to the door. Once enough water has equalized the pressure, it should open. Find more tips on surviving highway emergencies in this book. It's free from Shell. Count on Shell.
From a small clog to a major problem. Next time, call a trained roto-rooter plumber to fix it.
This town counts on me. No time to get slowed down by irregularity. My doctor suggested Metamucil, the only leading brand with 100% natural fiber.
Keeps me regular gently so I can keep up.
Metamucil, the doctor's natural choice for regularity.
Maybe you've never been in an accident, but I bet you've got airbags. And maybe your house has never burned down, but I bet you've got smoke detectors. You're prepared for everything, but I bet you don't have flood insurance. The truth is, homeowners insurance doesn't cover flood damage. Now flood insurance is easy to get from the National Flood Insurance Program. So call your insurance company agent or this number. Because with floods, you can never say never. The National Flood Insurance Program. We can't replace your memories, but we can help you build new ones.
The madness is coming. The NCAA Basketball Championship continues on CBS.
NASA scrambled today to come up with a new satellite. No, it is not to watch out for asteroid collisions. It's to avoid a political collision with Vice President Al Gore. Gore today proposed a new satellite to carry live pictures of the whole Earth 24 hours a day on the Internet to, in his words, awaken a new generation to the environment. We now have word on that verdict in the Sergeant McKinney court-martial. We're going to David Martin at the Pentagon for that. David?
Dan, Bob, excuse me. The jury of 8 members has found Eugene McKinney not guilty on 18 of the 19 counts against him. However, the one charge they did find him guilty of was obstruction of justice, in which he allegedly called one of the witnesses against him, one of his accusers, and said that she should not tell the investigators anything other than that what they did was fully appropriate. There was a tape recording of that call. It was one of the few pieces of physical evidence, and the jurors apparently chose to believe that and not to believe the conflicting stories that it was simply a case of he said, she said. So the one piece where there was physical evidence, they came back with a verdict of guilty. Now, 5 of the 6 women accusers who accused McKinney of various things from adultery to assault were in the courtroom when the verdict was read. We don't know their reaction yet to that verdict.
So, David, he is found guilty on only one account. There were, what, 19 counts in all?
That's right, 19 counts. The one he is found guilty of, the obstruction of justice, carries a maximum sentence of 5 years. So he could receive now a maximum sentence of 5 years. There will now be a sentencing phase in which the same jury that reached this verdict will reach the sentence, and that will take place on Monday.
That will take place on Monday. So we know he's guilty of one count. We will find out on Monday what the penalty will be. Okay.
Well, we'll begin hearing the hearing on what the penalty will be.
All right. Thank you very much, David. We'll be back with Travels with Harry in just a minute.
Fat-free equals healthy, right? I was so wrong. You got to think about sodium, calories. A Healthy Choice takes care of all that. And they have all of our favorites. Oven roasted turkey, honey ham. It's simple. With Healthy Choice, we eat when we like.
One slice, Tony.
You got it.
Oh.
2 extra large pieces. 3 with pepper. 1 with mushrooms. 2 for me.
Bayer relieves the inflammation that can cause arthritis, pain, and stiffness. Tylenol can. And taken regularly, only Bayer can help save your life by reducing the risk of a second heart attack. Ask your doctor. Bayer, powerful pain relief, and so much more. Also try Extra Strength Bayer PM, the only nighttime aspirin.
I'm 64. Is there anything I can do to stop bone loss?
Absolutely. Here's proof. In a landmark clinical study, Caltrate actually stopped bone loss in women at risk for osteoporosis, whatever your age.
It's never too late for Caltrate.
The magazines tell you to be a size 4. They tell you to be 10 years younger. They tell you to look like her. Don't listen to the magazines. Women's Ultra Mega Multiple Vitamins from General Nutrition Centers contain calcium, folic acid, and other vitamins, minerals, and herbs that love your body the way it is. Those magazines have no idea what they're talking about. Women's Ultra Mega Multiple Vitamins, exclusively in the women's section at GNC. Live well.
They don't drive yet, but they drive nearly everything we do. Heading out, picking up, dropping off, and hurrying home, only to do it all over again tomorrow. And in between all the starts and stops, we ask ourselves, are they safe, secure? Are they having a good time? Delivering cars and trucks that people count on is what makes us General Motors. Delivering them in more ways than anyone else in the world is what makes us people in motion.
If you are the superstitious type, you might want to check the sky and the calendar. In a rare occurrence, there is a full moon on Friday the 13th. So watch it. Something else rather unusual beneath the moon and just above the earth. In his travels with Harry tonight, CBS News correspondent Harry Smith encountered an American icon most Americans have never seen.
As the sun breaks over the Mississippi River bluffs in Wabasha, Minnesota, you see eagles in the sky. Not just 1 or 2, but bird after bird. At times it seems they're everywhere you look. Some are perched in trees. Others pluck fish from the river. It's the kind of natural display that quickens the heart and makes you smile with wonder.
Hundreds of bald eagles spend the winter in Wabasha. The fishing on the Mississippi is good because the river doesn't freeze over here. And March is the best time to see them, before many of the birds migrate north. I mean, every 100 yards, there's another couple eagles.
Ed Passy has lived on the river for 58 years. He took us on a backwater tour. We saw bald eagles, all right. The juveniles are dark and spotted. The grown-ups look like this, with wings up to 8 feet across. Floating through Catfish Slough, we came upon a nest. That mass of sticks is the size of a small car. It'll be home to 2 or 3 eaglets come spring. Hard to believe when not so many years ago, the eagles were almost gone.
So you remember when there weren't so many eagles around here?
I remember in the 40s, Harry, when you couldn't see an eagle. Probably you were very fortunate to see one.
Oh, I see one. Straight ahead.
Kids today don't know how lucky they are.
Oh, look at him! Look at him! He's right over us. Look! Oh, he's doing something. Oh,
When they come to Wabasha to see the birds, Mary Rivers explains how now banned toxins like DDT had poisoned the fish the birds feed on. There were fewer than 450 nesting pairs in the lower 48 states when the bald eagle was an endangered species. As the poisons disappeared, the birds began to flourish.
We'd like people to come here and learn about their national symbol. We'd like them to know about the bird that represents this country and all of the things that it has taken to bring it to the level that it is now.
Mary and the people of Wabasha want to create an Eagle Center here, a place where the birds can be watched but also studied too, in hopes that one day bald eagles will be a common sight all over the country.
And I would like to see everybody in the United States be able to see what I see. I think that's the ideal.
To see sights like this, an eagle perched in a backyard in Wabasha eating. It hears the cries of other eagles who'd like to share its meal, and it responds. Wow. Once you see these birds, it's hard to take your eyes off them. Thank goodness they're still around to see. Harry Smith, CBS News, Wabasha, Minnesota.
We'd planned to bring you a report tonight on the safety of mobile homes, but because of the breaking developments in the McKinney trial, we'll have that for you on Monday. And that is the news Sunday on Face the Nation. We'll follow up on Ed Bradley's interview with Kathleen Willey as we get reaction from White House partisans and Paula Jones's lawyers. And of course, you can see Ed's full report Sunday evening on 60 Minutes. For Dan Rather, this is Bob Schieffer, CBS News in New York. Good night.
Tens of thousands of the elderly bilked out of hundreds of millions in hard sell loan schemes. The companies behind them and what's being done Monday on the CBS Evening News.
Experience CBS News.
Yeah, it's the worst I have seen them in.
The family of James Earl Ray is losing hope tonight.
After a bed